Do you believe that because of your early relational trauma experiences that a good life is out of reach for you now? For example, do you believe that you're too broken to be loved? Do you imagine that having loyal, healthy, functional relationships is a myth and a fantasy? Do you believe it's too late to have a fulfilling career or feel financially empowered? Or that it's impossible to feel esteemed, confident, and capable of holding your boundaries with people? Do you struggle to human, let alone struggle to adult? Do you often feel incapable of handling life, like every day is a mountain you don't want to climb and don't know how to climb? Do you feel like you missed out on the proverbial handbook to life that everyone else seems to have been handed? Do you believe that because of the background and childhood you come from, that it's just not possible to have a wonderful adulthood now? I'm here to tell you that experiencing relational trauma in your early years does not mean a wonderful adulthood is out of reach. On the contrary, it's a real possibility with the right tools and support. And I'm someone who can give you the right kind of tools and support. Hi, I'm Annie Wright. I'm a licensed psychotherapist specializing in relational trauma recovery work, and my journey from healing my own relational trauma background is a testament to that possibility of a beautiful adulthood, despite adverse early beginnings. Growing up on an island off the coast of Maine, I endured a childhood marked by extensive and egregious relational trauma, alongside often really challenging socioeconomic variables. I coped with my complex relational trauma symptoms with the somatic, mental, and emotional chaos resulting from childhood as best as I could as a kid and adolescent. One of my more adaptive coping mechanisms included throwing myself into academics and work, which led to becoming the first person in my family to go to college, the Ivy League, no less, and then later serving in the Peace Corps in Uzbekistan. But around that time in the Peace Corps, through a confluence of re-triggering events, my own relational trauma history, which I'd been relentlessly running from and pretending didn't exist, finally, somewhat paralyzingly, caught up with me. The jig was up, the payment was due. I had to face the past in order to have a future. So at age 25, I took a major detour from my post-Peace Corps life in Washington, D.C., to move out to the fabled Esalen Institute on the cliffs of Big Sur, California, to try and heal, to figure things out, to create a life more worthwhile. A leap of faith, a one-way plane ticket to California with only the expectation of staying there a month, turned into nearly 4 years spent living, working, studying, apprenticing, and healing at Esalen. That precious formative time not only catalyzed the relational trauma recovery work that I personally needed, but also led to marrying a very good and kind man I met there. We have a daughter now. And in time, becoming a licensed psychotherapist who specializes in the very content area I work so hard to overcome. Those years at Esalen, combined with my rigorous graduate school training, the decade plus I've been in practice as a licensed clinical psychotherapist, and the advanced postgraduate complex trauma trainings and studying I've steeped myself in, have taught me how to heal and overcome my own relational trauma history and how to help others do the same. The impacts and symptoms of my relational trauma history don't rule me anymore, and I know how to help others have those same kinds of results. Through the pillars that ground my work, research-backed psychoeducation, evidence-based skills building, trauma-informed processing, and reparative relationship experiences, my work is, simply put, designed to help anyone who had a challenging childhood have a wonderful adulthood, no matter where they are in life or where they are in the world. I do my relational trauma recovery work in the world now in several different ways. I'm a practicing psychotherapist who works one-on-one with clients seeking expert relational trauma recovery work. I also founded and run a boutique trauma-informed therapy center, Evergreen Counseling, staffed with clinicians who likewise can expertly treat relational trauma. I'm also a prolific mental health writer with over 200 essays on my own blog, and my clinical opinions have been featured in publications like Forbes, Business Insider, NBC, and the Huffington Post, among others. In addition to all of this, I'm also a mental health online course creator with hundreds of students all over the globe having enrolled in my psychoeducational programs. But here on this channel, in this work that I put out into the world, I'm all about sharing psychoeducation, skills building exercises, tools to help you grieve and process your past, and fostering a sense of community and hope. So, if you're ready to begin your own relational trauma recovery journey, I'm here to support you every step of the way. I invite you to subscribe to this channel to stay updated with the latest videos and tools tailored for your growth and healing. And if you'd like to get started sooner than later, and especially if you're not sure if you even come from a relational trauma background, I want you to come on over to my website and take my signature quiz. Do I come from a relational trauma background? It's a 5-minute, 25-question quiz I created that can be incredibly illuminating and will point you in the direction of a wide variety of resources that can be of instant and further help to you. Plus, when you take the quiz, you'll be added to my mailing list where you'll receive twice-a-month letters from me sharing high-quality essays with accompanying YouTube videos and audios you can stream, all devoted to the topic of relational trauma recovery. It's also where I share more about me as a person, my life, and how I'm journeying through my own relational trauma recovery and general adulthood. My newsletters are the only place where I share intimate glimpses into my life, including photos, the resources that are supporting me, the things I've discovered that delight me, words that are uplifting me, the practices that nourish me, and more. So please, be sure to sign up for my mailing list whether or not you want to take the quiz. I'll link to both of these things in the show notes. Finally, thank you so much for being here. Your healing matters, and I'm honored to be a part of it. Let's start this transformative journey together. And please remember, no matter where you're starting from, change is possible.